Let me share the screen. Just a second. Okay, I got the coded bag link. You can go ahead. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the last time what we discussed basic OOPS principle, which is inheritance, polymorphism. Can anybody add more?
Encapsulation and abstraction.
Yeah. Anybody wants to just quickly walk through what's inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction? That would be just as a dry run, as a kickstart, so we can move ahead.
Okay, I talk about the encapsulation and abstraction.
Yeah.
So encapsulation is like we, hide the data. The private data should be hidden. So, that related to the open, close principle. But kind of, we open for extension, but close for modification. Because all the data, the hidden data is internal to the class. When we modify the hidden data, it should not affect the public API or the public data. That's why we want to hide as much as possible. So we modify the hidden data that does not affect the public API of the class.
Sorry, I'm just. Can you see the screen?
Type small. Can you increase the font?
Okay. Is it fine now? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good flashback, I would say,
So,
which is like we discuss how we should how encapsulation actually work, which is we want to hide the data. We don't want open for modifications, but we are open for expansion. So anybody wants to go through the abstraction? Just a quick walkthrough.
Yeah, the abstraction, like an interface. We define the interface of what the module or the class should do, and how it does it is is the implementation detail. So, for example, we can define the abstraction, the high-level interface of sorting the container, but the actual implementation, like whether we use merge sort or quick sort or bucket sort is like implementation detail. The user, of that interface does not need to know. All they know that by the time this sort method is done, the container already sorted.
Yeah, so in short, which is like we hide the actual implementation details and more focus on like just put on the interface part, and whoever implement those interfaces which we have written. Um, so whoever that would be the part where however they want to implement it. So that's hidden from actual user. So polymorphism. So we had a lot of questions around this polymorphism as well, which
I think we can narrow it to having two pieces of code, like change the functionality depending on the context. Like overriding a method, that's one way of polymorphism, or when the code, the piece of code, it behaves differently, but it's named the same way.
Basically, like it allows methods to perform different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we come up with some like a runtime or compile time, and basically which is implemented in Java, or I think in compile time and runtime. So these are the two where we implemented in Java, but there is no concept of compile time and runtime in JavaScript or in Python, I suppose. So yeah. And inheritance is basically you inherit from the base class, like the functions you inherit from the class you inherit is called the base class, and the the class which inherit that base class is called the child class, and the child class would be would implement those methods. No, sorry, child class would you can use those methods which are on the base class. Okay, so do we have any questions related to that, or anybody wants to discuss more on this?
I think it's good.
We can quickly go through our last design where we left, which is, okay, so here. So we decided to collect the requirements for the parking lot. This is the first problem, and what we thought that the requirements would be like whether the parking lot is a private or public parking lot. What type of cars are allowed in the parking lot? Is that parking lot would be available in the multiple cities, or like we should focus on one city? And how many is that parking lot would have multiple levels, or just we focus on one level? So all these kind of questions, and we have requirements which we need to discuss with the interviewer, like how many spots would be there. That so if we want to build a payment system for the parking lot, that would be a monthly user or a day-to-day user. Anything else, if anyone has any other requirements?
The number of entry and the number of exit.
Okay, number of entry and exit. So number of entry and exit if
Because that's gonna be, you know, one where there's gonna be simple one entry, one exit, or multiple of them, right?
yeah, it can be multiple, but we can ask that for a sake side, let's just take one entry and exit.
Okay,
Because
so and also does it like the exit, does it you know, like autom automate, or they require like attendance? Because because sometimes we don't know if they they can pay, right? They have a credit card to pay, or they have problem with payment, how they get out.
so that would be the another requirement. How's the payment system of parking lot? If so, that would come if that's a public parking lot. Uh, then it would be, I think, uh, it's like whichever slot you have, just park and uh, pay at the parking machine. Pay at the machine which is at the parking lot and get that receipt. And if it is a private, it may be office buildings, like when you need to, like some kind of a system would be there as a part in a private system.
Mm, yeah.
So let's jump to our V1 version first, which we discussed last. Like, let's say we have public parking and we'll be having just one building, and one building can have multiple levels. And the types of vehicle, we are saying that it's car, bus, motorcycle, and types of sports parking spots, which we are considering is handicap, eco-friendly, I think eco-friendly or something, yeah, compact, large, I think, or small. If it is motorcycle, we'll be considering small as well. And then number of spots for each type, if it is whether it's a single, and we are considering that as we will be having single entry and exit for our V1 version. Is there anything for V1 version if anyone thinks that?
So normally when I try to a parking lot, right, I just like whenever I see the empty parking, then I just go there. This system like that, or it like, you know, there's a, I have to go a specific lot, specific location.
I think for now it should be fine. Go anywhere. So small car can go in large, but large cannot come in small.
Okay, so I'm just going into the entrance and see where, you know, wherever the closer parking spot available, then gonna take it, right? Okay. If that's the case, how do we know, you know, if they can park the car, like the motorcycle can park anywhere, right? Maybe they have to go motorcycle area.
Mm-hmm. So motorcycle can go anywhere. So
Motorcycle
small.
can go, yeah, compact as well as in large spot as well. And
And
car,
handicap can also go anywhere.
yes. So, but if it is a bus can go to only the large
Mm-hmm.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Then what happened if there's no more large spot and we still have the bus,
So it won't get.
coming? Are we gonna? Does it gonna have the sign to see like the parking is full, or how many spots still available?
I think
Or gonna be the V2?
it can be on the V2 as well, like some kind of a system which will say that the parking lot is full for these uh, for large buses or some for large vehicles. I think some kind of a system would be there. That I'm considering of a V2. So Eco 1 should go to the
I would say don't worry about eco for now.
and
So when you say handicap, it's only for cars.
handicapped cars, like for handicap, yeah. So handicap can go to these.
First we'll try in handicap. If it is not there, then compact and then large.
Compact and large. And what about the motorcycle? It will try in small, compact, and then large.
So small, you mean is for motorcycle?
Yes, but I don't think so large we need to be there. Bus will be having the only option is large.
And how about car?
Yeah. Car is compact and large. Okay, so I think we can move ahead with our designing the classes. Feel free to jump on like the class design. So I'll just write down what should be the classes for now. So seems like we should have a vehicle class. And
Okay, so extend from vehicle can be car, bus, or motorcycle, right?
so
That's it.
can we can I assume
Yeah,
that
we can either we can either make it like inheritance or like an enum. Let's
yeah,
say
enum would
this
be
is
like so car, motorcycle, um, and bus. I think we have 3 types of vehicles. Handicap is also like a car only, but it's basically. So if it is a handicap, then we just check on the flow. Is that correct?
okay. So a little. So when
think
what
this
would
is
be your preference? When would we use enum? And when would we use like inheritance?
so. I'm creating a type of vehicle over here, and so I think I need to create the vehicle size as well, which is these. And I'm thinking of if creating a vehicle class, which
Do we need vehicle size? Because if the car, we can figure it out, right? Or the bus or the motorcycle.
Because we want to make sure, like for example, if I am creating a vehicle class, um, so if vehicle class is there, if I am implementing car, car is my class, which would extend that vehicle class. I'm thinking like that.
Right.
And
I think
car's property is the what would be the size of it. The size is like on the flow. I want to make sure that it's property, car's properties. If we say that what's the properties of the car, it's if it would
okay.
cover.
I think that we can either use enum or use like the inheritance. You know, we only need to use one. We don't need to use both, because let's say if a vehicle have the enum vehicle type, then we know that that vehicle is a car or the motorcycle or the bus. We don't need to use inheritance. And if we use inheritance, then we don't need to use enum.
So you are saying.
Does it make sense? Yeah, it's like composition versus inheritance, right?
So if you are saying that
You,
car, we can define somewhere here only that vehicle type. If type of a vehicle is car, then its size should be compact.
no, I'm saying that the vehicle, the class vehicle, will have the attribute name vehicle type, right?
Okay,
So they have attribute name vehicle type in there. So given the instance of vehicle, we would know if it is a car, motorcycle, or a bus.
but how can we declare vehicle? Okay, so if I am saying I am creating a property of vehicle type, and this car is extending this vehicle class, and from here I want to make it sure I need to pass, for example, if I am calling this vehicle class something super, or wherever I am declaring.
No, I'm saying that if we already have the vehicle type in a vehicle, then we don't need the inheritance. We can delete the car extend vehicle, because we already know what type of vehicle it is, right?
No, because a vehicle, there can be multiple kinds of vehicles like car, bus.
Yes, but there's only one at a time, right? It can be either car or either motorcycle or the bus.
So yeah, so that's why it's a one at a time. So whoever is implementing that extending that class is having that behavior. Like I am just saying that it's vehicle's properties. So whatever the properties of vehicle, like for example, we want to make sure the type of the vehicle, we want to make sure that particular vehicle is park or not, or unpark. So that kind of a properties I am like seeing all these methods would be there in the in that particular.
Okay, why park and unparked are important? Because we only provide the parking lot, right? So the vehicle come, they just go into that slot, and that's it. Why we need to know whether the vehicle is, moving in the parking lot or not?
Because we are inheriting this class because we are there. If we, for example, if we are making the other class of motorcycle, uh, we want, and that class is also extending this vehicle. We need to make sure that if that particular motorcycle is parked or unparked.
What? Okay, so how the unparked help? What unparked, help us in here?
So park, unparked.
Whether parked or unparked, it doesn't matter to us, right? How how would it inform to?
These would be helping like when we have to when we need to allot the parking, like how many spots are left, something like I'm considering these kind of
I think we can start by that. I think we can define a problem to solve, because I think we just say like design the parking lot. We can go many ways, but I think we have a concrete example. Like, let's solve the problem of what if a new car enters and the parking lot is full, and then we can kind of like design around that problem. We may be able to move like towards a goal. Does that sound reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Probably, yeah, based on the rules, if a car enters and then what should we?
Yeah, basically, yeah, some business rules like don't allow two cars to enter if the parking lot is full. You should throw an exception or something. Or another business rules would be tell the car that enters where to park. That would be a problem to solve. We can pick any problem as long as we pick maybe start with just one and then build from there. Because then we can answer Leon's question of why do we need the park on park to solve that problem.
Or new car instead of like a new vehicle comes.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Basically, the parking lot class needs to tell the car where to park. Is that the problem we're trying to solve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, because we would talk about they can park anywhere, right? Or we change the design right now, because before we say when they enter, they see any available spot, they're gonna go there.
So
we're not changing the design.
Available spot in the sense it should not park in a handicap parking. It should not park in a compact or like a small parking spot. It should park in a spot in whatever the size it's required for that particular vehicle to park.
So I think, yeah, that's a fair ask. Right now, if we solve these two problems, if a new vehicle comes, whether we can accommodate that or not. If yes, then where?
Yes, I think that would be good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we are considering that we need to make sure that if that particular vehicle is parked or not. That's why we are.
How do we know? How do we know they parked or not? Because unless we put a sensor in the car or somewhere,
that is the implementation we'll be creating. That kind of a solution.
Park means like drive and park it, and unpark is drive and unpark it. But
I've been in parking lots where they actually tell you if a level is full. So that's like a real life scenario where you're driving and the parking lot tells you, go to level 3. I think that's another interesting problem we can solve too.
So they have only one, in our case, we have only one entry, right? So every time, the vehicle pass through, we can do a counter.
Something like that.
And we know
it would be a property of the system to calculate how many parking lots are free and everything. But
yes, so we know initially we know how many parking slots we have, and every time the vehicle enter, we know how many in the parking. Then we know how many spots are still available.
Yeah, so that would be a separate class which will track. But I think let's first wrap up this vehicle thing. Whatever properties you want, just define your class, motorcycle, other classes, and let's wrap this first.
This would also be, I suppose, same thing, the properties.
Yeah, whatever you trying to push there, just put there.
Small and because we are considering 3 types of vehicles, so I think these.
And then for car, you have, I think, additional property of handicap.
So yeah, I'm thinking how to make that.
What about the license plate? How do we get the license plate? Or like the vehicle, people just drive by and then, you know,
No,
click
it's
the
a
button,
property
they
of a
open the
vehicle.
gate.
You won't get it. It's a property of a vehicle. That's it. We are not this. She's just defining the property of the vehicle.
So what type of vehicle, what size of a vehicle? I think type also, vehicle type. I'm just confused of making.
That would be just a property of a car. Is handicap.
We only define what vehicle that's relevant to the parking, right? So, you know, we know the size because it's important, but we don't need to know the color or some other, you know, property of vehicle that we don't need it.
We can put as much information we can, but I think to get started, few properties. What you are doing here?
So I'm just thinking if here in the car, if the type of the car is handicap, then I'll be getting that handicap.
No, here, first of all, here it should be okay.
Or it should be.
And where is it when you call super? Where is that super is going?
So it's going to that vehicle class.
Where is the constructor there?
Oh, sure. So these will be the attributes over here.
No, but they should be.
So this constructor will go. This will call over here.
Doing something.
I'm not writing the full-fledged. I'm just writing the
But
pseudo.
still, at least it looks doesn't correct.
Here should be the license.
At least, yeah.
So vehicle type and size over here as well, I'll be mentioning. Here also type and type. Something like this would be the class vehicle and all the other classes of car. So, so the main problem which we are considering is like how to find a parking spot. So to find a parking spot, what we should consider, like we should have a parking lot.
You have another class.
Yeah, parking lot class.
Then
And what are the properties of parking lot should be like how many spots are there. I'm just right.
Yeah, how many spot, how many level.
But
So
that's
levels can be in a different class, can be,
Mhm.
because
I'm just thinking
Okay.
this. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, please go ahead.
So
Oh, I
say
was-
the number of spot per vehicle size, right? Not the total number of spot, but number of spot for small and spot for large, spot for motorcycle
Okay.
per each level.
So how we'll be considering the levels? I'm just
Well, I think in this case we have only one level, but later we have many level, like floor level, like the floor, right? Floor number 1, 2, 3.
okay. So level will be having I'll be saying compact spots.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the public APIs for this class parking lot, and it seems that there's two, right? At least for now. One would be, can I park? And it receives a car, and it's a Boolean, returns a Boolean. And maybe the other one is where to park, or park, just park, that receives a car and returns a spot, I guess a type of spot or a number,
So
and
parking
it's
lot you're saying can be.
the first one. I'm thinking of a method, a public method that says can I park, or can vehicle park, or can park, yeah, and then it receives a vehicle.
Okay.
Yes, and then it returns a Boolean. I don't know.
Any if park.
you don't need to write right now. Just
Like
write return something. Just
Boolean.
like
I don't know how to do that in Python, but
just say return true for now.
yeah. Then the other one is park, probably, which is void.
So this should not be over here.
I guess that we can debate, probably.
Okay, so this is only showing for that particular. So I'm confused. Like parking lot would tell or parking spot would be saying. No.
Well, I'm thinking that's part of the abstraction,
no, it's
right?
not.
I think you need to create a class spot, and then it would have its own some properties.
Mm-hmm.
Parking
Spot.
Yeah.
And it would have like a what is
location, like floor level, and then
floor,
and then zone, maybe zone like small, and then the
zone is
number. Zone like kind of like small for small car, big car.
So I think it would have like the same thing. Level.
I think it would extend that parking lot.
No. Why?
No, it's not.
It won't extend. So it will have level and number.
Yeah, number.
And then it will have a type.
Okay, so whether it's what kind.
And that should come in the constructor. So you have to. So whoever creating this spot class should also send this information, level, number and type. And then it would have, yeah, can you make it back?
And it
And
can
this
be
is the
a handicap or not, right?
That I think will come in the type. Let's see first this thing.
The type can be car or bus.
No, so it should be that
Uh,
enum. So it should accept that enum type,
Mhm.
what we have defined at the top.
So the
you
park
scroll to
method
the
will
top.
return this, right? The park method will return a parking spot.
Sorry.
The park method will
Yeah,
return
it return,
a parking
it
spot.
return a parking spot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and no, before let's finish this parking spot. So parking spot will have another property, self dot what is that? What we can say blocked or what could be a better name?
It's available or not.
Available, yeah. So right now it is available true.
Mm.
Or false. Right now we'll be saying.
No, available is true, right? When it is not available, then you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, gotcha.
And now it will have a public methods like
Is available.
is available, and then just return self dot available.
Okay, return this.
No, it shouldn't. Oh, which way? Oh, yeah.
And it should also have methods like
yeah.
oh no, you don't need to send a spot here. Why you are sending a
Send
spot?
is like I need to send some number, the spot.
No,
which would be saying that if
so
that
that is a
spot
property.
available or
That is
not.
property of this class. Why it should take? Why
How
it
it
should
would be
take?
saying that what's available or not available.
No, it is telling. See, it is okay. If I ask you, what is your name? What you will tell?
Okay, gotcha.
So you won't expect somebody to tell your name and then you will tell your name. And then you should have something uh, like reserve or something, which will just can you have another method?
Of
Something like
so what you are trying to say?
like park or something.
This kind of
And then say self dot available equal to false.
yeah.
No, there's no be return.
We'll be assigning it.
And then if you do set def of unpark,
Why we need park and unpark is that we can call is available.
and just
If
do self
available,
dot available equal to false. Yeah, now we can decide the method names if it doesn't look good.
Unless it's available, it's the internal, nobody can call it.
No, it will call, right? When you ask can park, you will look for is available.
Then we don't need the park or unpark, right?
No, then how you will set that? So you have to set.
It's a set and return kind of thing. Like if means if that parking spot is has gone, then it is not available. And if somebody has
No, I think this is fine. You can just say a park. That means you have parked the car and you made it available for. I don't see a problem here.
Okay.
Do we need to save the car, the vehicle in the parking spot? Would that help us at all?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's a good point. So there would be another property, self dot vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the type is the vehicle type, right?
No, that means like what kind of thing it can support. So yeah, that is a good point. You can create one more self dot vehicle
Or
equal
park
to none,
vehicle if you want to be more specific.
equal
But
to
yeah.
none.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you park, then when you park, just send the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So sense that
Self,
vehicle.
yeah, self dot vehicle equal to
Vehicle.
vehicle.
It will be passed as parameter.
It would be passed as a parameter. Not this to line 118, or not this one.
There you go. Yeah.
And at one, yeah. And in the unpark, just make it none.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
No,
the
No, you
type
don't need to
is,
send anything here.
right. You don't.
so the type is the
Why we don't need to send it, because how would it come?
No, that it is okay. If you send, where are you using? Tell me.
Okay, I'm not using. I'm just declaring it. Gotcha.
You're just clearing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your question, Leon?
so the type is like, you know, this parking spot can support like what type of vehicle, right? So it can
Yeah.
support small, I mean, a car,
I think
motorcycle. So that kind of enumeration. I mean, kind of like contain a list of
So I think
vehicle size.
that's what we're saying. The type from the top. If you go up little more up, so more up, we would be sending this. Yeah, vehicle type car.
Size,
No, we
vehicle
don't need
size.
to. Yeah, actually, we need the size also there.
yeah, we need a size, because we'll be having. How will we come to know that what type of
So I
parking
think
spot
then
will be?
I think then at your vehicle type, uh, you can have if you go up at line 50 after 54, you can have a car, handicap car, and then and then then let's say in the can you go down a bit?
In the available, I think we had to pass in the vehicle. We cannot say, you know, if available return true or false. It depends on the vehicle
Yeah,
size.
yeah. Uh, Let me think. No,
Because
then it has to do a lot of calcul. So let's see where we want to do the calculation. So based on availability and type and size. Okay, first let's complete this thing. It's parking spot. So you might need size also.
I think whosoever is passing that particular vehicle.
No, so size should be the property of the parking spot, not yeah.
size should be the property of the parking spot.
Yeah. So if you
But
see
if we
when you
have
go to any parking lot, it says like it is compact or not compact, or handicapped or not.
but I am thinking we are just making the parking spot class, and whosoever is calling that spot, uh, that needs to make sure that this is just the properties of the spot. Whosoever is calling that spot, uh, they need to make sure that how many
No, no, but
spots are available on the
so that is
handicap
fine.
or.
That is fine, but your parking spot should also tell either that is compact or not.
I think that
Okay, let me make change then.
should be declaring in the another class. I think.
Okay,
How we want to make sure that these many spots are available for, like, we have 5 spots for handicap, 10 spots for cars, and 5 spots for motorcycles.
And
yeah,
that's a concern of the parking lot. Of
yeah,
the
that
parking lot,
is,
yeah.
yeah. So that is so if you go up,
So
Yes,
we
that
now
want
one.
in
to make it.
parking lot, when you're creating this,
Hmm.
then that is now, so like it would be a list right now. Don't worry about that. Just create a list. Hmm.
Hmm.
So it would be a list of parking spot, not a number. It should accept a parking spot class. You can write parking spot for now. Or, oh yeah, you can even put like you can even open, right, send your parameters.
I mean, I don't know how deep you guys want to go into
Yeah, so
deep,
so there should
deep.
be another method to create that list, but right now let's go really fast. So
Okay,
you're
so I'll
telling,
be just
so
declaring like this right now.
no, that was fine what you have earlier defined.
Yeah.
So
They just put the type of the.
just put the type, like, and put a comment like, okay, this will list of that, whatever.
So which would be a parking spot.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So that time, if it is a compact spots, you will send size compact, uh, and yeah. If it is a large, you will send size large. I don't know if you want type there or not, but yeah.
So if I am passing any, if I need to have a spot, then over here I need to pass that the size is compact size.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I don't think so you need to pass type. So type we can remove from there.
Let it be like now it's
Okay.
okay.
Because, yeah, doesn't look like we need type there. Hmm.
So I think I see an issue because if we have 2 levels, how do we know that which compact spots belong to level 1 and which belongs to
So,
level 2?
so we don't,
Should,
so the parking spot knows that.
okay, I can see having a level class and then parking lot having 2 levels and then,
No, so when
but
we'll,
yeah, this is fine too.
so when we'll create a list, that time we'll generate a parking spot for 2 different levels. So right now we are not generating a list. That's what I'm telling.
Okay.
So if it is
And then you have a handicap spots also. So compact, large, small, and then handicap. Like say you have only few of them. Let's say, yeah.
I think this is good, but my only concern is that does the parking spot need to know about the levels? I don't know if that concern.
It depends. Otherwise, we have to create different, either create a hash map, like, okay, for parking spot, one, these, or like, it's up to us how we want to define.
Okay. Yeah, we can continue like this.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If the interviewer says generate a parking spot list, then we have to think first. We need some numbers. So we first also need to generate the numbers. But
So, what you are saying that if whenever we call for the parking lot, and
so in your constructor, you should have more methods. So yeah, these should be like a private methods. Generate compact spots, something like that. And then it should return a list.
and these parking spot would be returned. Right?
Yeah. Now up to you how you will generate that. You can just right now return empty list or whatever.
Okay, something.
No, it should not be like this. You and I think you might want to send. And so yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you send your levels and then it will just generate a list and return back. Okay, so I think we're clear what we want. I think we are already running out of time, so let's spend another few minutes and just wrap this up.
So if we've come with a new vehicle comes and find a parking spot,
Yeah,
then
so now you have to write some logic, like how you will find that.
um,
So now the main logic is that you know all the properties. So now you got a vehicle. So let's only right now focus on can park. So you just need to tell like, can I park it or not?
so if I need to check, for example, type of the vehicle, if vehicle dot type is equal to,
You were having vehicle. What was your enum name? Vehicle type equal.
You have to iterate, right? All the.
So what was that vehicle type? What was your enum name? Can you go bit up? Yeah, your enum name was vehicle type dot bus.
yeah, so if vehicle,
Yeah.
V should be bigger. So it should be vehicle type.
vehicle type dot car or bus.
So I will say start with the simplest. Like if it is a bus, it's easy for you because you have to just check in the large spots. And then
Yeah.
you have to just iterate all your large spots.
Uh,
and if anything is available, just return. Yeah.
I think available should return something that this is.
Yeah, you can just, if it is available, then just return true.
So this would be returning true, and I'll be declaring true over here.
Yeah,
And
just return true. That's it.
I need to assign something like
No,
that.
no, no, right now we are not assigning. We are just telling can par.
Yeah, similarly for like
Then you should have a else if.
is car, then it will
No,
check this
then for car you have two types of
com
cars.
compact
So for car you have two types of cars.
car. Yeah, so it's a compact car or sorry, normal car or handicapped car.
So
So
basically, like, okay,
that
I
would
think we
cover
are
over
running,
here only.
we are
What's the
running,
type?
running out of time, uh, but the idea here is the car can park in compact
Yeah, no, the car can park in a compact as well as in large.
as well as large. Yeah. Okay, first let's write. Don't worry about handicap. Let's finish this, and then you might also want to check the large spots.
Yeah.
Same would be the logic.
Yeah, I think this is fine.
Okay, yeah.
The
Then you have again another else if, which is for the motorcycle. And then you have to check all the places.
so that would be another. Um, so the motorcycle can park anywhere, like compact,
Yeah,
large.
but you have to check all first, starting with the small, compact, and then large.
Okay. Okay, that can be done. This is a repetitive. The main logic was to allot it actually.
Okay, so but at the end it should return false. But if you see now, this whole logic is not efficient or optimized. So a lot of problems, repetition of code, and you don't have a better way of finding it out.
Mm-hmm.
You every time any vehicle is coming, you are iterating everything. I don't know, in object oriented they look for efficiency of code, but if you have thought about this use case more about that, then there could be some other way of doing, like a hash map or something, where you can put all the free spots or whatever, some other way of doing it. Right now it looks like uh, it's not that efficient.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like uh, whenever we can update our one kind of a hash map that this is a large spots hash map or
Yeah, there should be some other better way of doing this. And but okay, but it looks like it kind of met the objective, but yeah. And what was the other case, Martin? You told about two use cases.
One is, yeah, I mean, one is the can I park, and the other one is actually park. So
I think, yeah, can park. Okay. And the other one was park. Like you have to
what
go on.
returns a parking spot. I mean,
Like
and
parking.
like you said, there could be some reuse between these two functions, because from line 103 to 120 would be very similar, because we'll have to do the same work.
No, I think
So
then it should be can park only, should return the parking spot or whatever.
we can do that too. Yeah.
And use that spot to park the car.
And then if you cannot park, return null or something like that.
Or might be if by the time you, so there could be a lot of use case, like, okay, when you say can park, you return the spot. So we make it unavailable that time or when the person park it.
What do you mean?
So let's say we got a spot here.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of returning, we are just instead of returning, we are just putting that spot dot.
Oh yes.
Could be or might be when we call park, that time we'll do it. Or it could be like when we park, when we call that function. So there should be another. So when we are doing this, so that time we can again check. Okay.
I think I would say like if we are going to these parking spots over here, can park, and we are checking that if we find the empty spot, then we can return the parking spot number, as well as if, and after that at the end we can check that if the parking spot number is null or
No, why
nothing.
you want to send number? You can return class itself.
Yeah, so I'm just giving a hypothetical example that how it should be like.
So let's say this function was not returning false, it was returning spot itself.
Spot, like, and then we just need to check that if it is a if spot is null, then it means that we need to return true. Otherwise, we need to return false.
No, we are discussing return spot itself.
I'm saying that we can come like both of these can be solved in a similar way.
No, if you are returning none, that means you didn't get a spot. Why to return true false? So you are telling this class expectation is so sometimes it will return true false, sometimes it returns spot.
That would be the another like class, another method which needs to be called to check.
So one simple use case is this: like if you get uh, instead of uh, instead of doing this, we are just returning spot, and if we couldn't get anything, we returned none, and then everywhere would be like this. And then vehicle park will
It will check if the park is none, uh, then it means that there is no space. If it is not done, then there is a space.
yeah, and then we should have def unpark. But now the question is how we'll know who will call unpark.
I think that we can assume it's like an external entity, like with just maybe for the sake of this, it doesn't matter.
So that means like somebody's taking care of where Are you saying like somebody's tracking what is where?
No. I mean, well, one idea is actually that if you scroll to the original camp park, let's say we combine that one into camp park and park, and then before return the spot, or we actually return true or false, but we actually park if it's available. This is just an alternative to this.
So you're telling just park it and
yeah.
So you're telling we can combine this, and
yeah,
if it is available, just do
spot.park right before the return.
Spot.park
park
and send this.
Yeah.
Vehicle.
And then return true.
Oh, why we should return spot?
It does well.
Because unpark needs that spot.
I guess you're right. Yes, that's correct.
So somewhere we'll reserve all the spots, and or we can even have a mapping somewhere. Whoever is calling this class.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be done like that particular vehicle license number got that spot.
Yeah, something like that. Vehicle license number or vehicle itself key value pair, or might be it would happen here in this class only. Like, but yeah, but the mapping should be somewhere. Like, okay, this vehicle is in
like something like I should have declared over here only like some kind of a map.
Or you if you have to, or there is another way of doing it, like because your spot class is holding vehicle information. You can even go and look all your spots and find your car. Like there are different ways of doing it.
So this would be containing two things, vehicle and spot. And
no, why it will be contained? What you are trying to solve here?
I am mapping it. I just want to do a map, like this would be like vehicle dot license
To a spot, right?
Yes,
yeah.
to have that spot. So if we want to empty that also, then we just need to
and I think I like this because I think we're leaking the concept of spot when we on park. So now you can change the line 128 on park to receive a license plate, a string license plate.
Mm-hmm.
No, the public one, the one above it.
Okay. Oh.
That way we don't leak what spot is, and whoever calls this doesn't need to know about spot or anything like that.
License or vehicle dot license something.
It is a string.
It's a string. In any string, vehicle license you can call it, as long as it's a type string. That way we don't leak implementation details.
And if we are saying unpark, that spot unpark, we need to pass this.
No. So here what you will do, you will find your spot
in the map.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yep.
And a few other things, right?
I think
like
this just needs to. This can be done like this if we know that vehicle license. We just need to declare that like this.
Yeah, that works.
No, first you will pull it, then you will make it none.
What I'll be pulling?
So you at line 129, how you will know what is a spot?
Oh yes. You need to do line 130 before 129.
So
right?
Technically you have to do at the end when you have unparked. Let's say there is an issue in unparking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I got the spot.
You need to empty it first.
So you have to unpark it first, then line
Yeah,
one.
exactly. Yes.
Oh, so this unpark is called over for this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to also set that map in line in your park method.
Yeah, this needs to be done. Like if we got that spot dot park, I can just call this method.
Yeah, you have to call that method.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can simplify it. Don't hold on. So there's a problem here. Let's call it something else for now. So now less code is repetitive. And here if we can say if spot whatever it is not none, then do all your actions that spot dot park and the vehicle, and then call that
Yeah.
allot, and then just return. That's it.
No, we don't want to return spot. We want to return
We don't want to
true or
return
false.
spot.
Yeah,
No?
then don't return. Then return true.
Mhm. Because the color doesn't need to know about spots.
Yeah, we can hide that. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then in at line
And this,
131 you can return false.
Mhm. I think looking good.
Yeah, so there could be better way of finding the vehicles rather than iterating.
Mhm.
yeah, that's another way. Yeah, I think this sounds good to me. I'll just copy it.
We actually solve both problems. We
Yeah.
can know if we can park, and we know, and we park too.
I think the allotment is left, like
So
on array.
so so basically, yeah, a lot of right now handicap parking left, and this motorcycle was also has to extend for
Mhm.
checking. So basically, it would become like this if we want to do end to end. And then only I think handicap parking left.
I think we are out of time, so
Okay.
I think we should discuss next time. I think we'll discuss next time different problem now. I think we are done with this parking spot lot.
Sure.
Okay, thank you guys. If anyone wants this code, I can share that.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Can you
you.
please
Bye.
share the document or?
Yeah, I can share it on.
I think there's a link you can join and just copy that.
Yeah, there's a link on a chat. I'll stop recording.